The mug read, "To the best loser in the world." A cheap white thing, the red lettering glaringly bold. My daughter, our daughter, handed it to me with a crooked grin. Across the table my wife Anna sat watching me, legs crossed, one eyebrow raised like she was daring me to flinch. Then came the envelope. Blue foil. A classy touch, though it was just a facade. She always had an eye for appearances. I opened it without a word. Divorce papers. No discussion. No warning. Just a small, bitter giggle from Emily, hiding her smile behind her hand, and Anna leaning in with the same smirk she had worn 17 years ago when she told me she was pregnant. "You're just not worth the trouble anymore," she said, as if I were a broken appliance, not a man with years invested in her. I didn't speak. I didn't flinch. I just nodded, the kind of nod that comes from someone who had been expecting this moment for a long time. Because I had. There was a time I would have begged, pleaded, tried to fix it. There was a time I loved her, when I would lie next to her at night, watching her sleep, memorizing the rise and fall of her breath as though it were my own rhythm too. We had built everything together, a home, a life, a business. I truly believed we were partners in every sense of the word. And Emily, God, she was my world. I coached her softball team. I stayed up every night helping her with math even when my eyes burned from working 2 jobs. But love doesn't disappear overnight. It rots quietly, slowly, and if you're not paying attention it takes you with it. It started 2 years ago when Anna stopped calling me by my name, just hey, or can you. Then came the locked phone, the sudden weekend trips to see her sister. Emily got colder too, eye rolls, dismissive laughs. At first I blamed it on teenage rebellion, but I wasn't naive. I saw the looks they shared, the private jokes they exchanged, jokes I wasn't part of. One night I caught Emily mimicking me behind my back. Anna laughed, the sound slicing through me like a blade. That was the night something inside me cracked. But I didn't confront them then. Instead I started to watch. I changed quietly. I began installing security cameras in secret, not out of fear but for safety, my safety. I synced her phone to the cloud. She never noticed the old iPhone I planted in the garage, recording everything within 30 feet. The truth was uglier than I could have imagined. Anna had been draining our joint accounts into an offshore account, one she'd set up in her name. And Emily, my Emily, was helping her. Emails, transfers, even laughing about it. "He's too stupid to notice," Anna had said in one voice message. And, of course, there was another man. A real estate guy, flashy, weak jawline, and even flashier cars. She called him her upgrade. I didn't cry, not once. Because I had something they didn't, patience. 6 months ago I went to war quietly. I transferred the business into a holding company under my best friend's name. Moved our assets, sold stocks, shifted pension funds. They never noticed. They were too busy planning their new life. I hired a private investigator. Collected everything, photos, emails, bank transfers. Then I went to a lawyer, the best one in town, the one Anna had fired 3 years ago over a petty billing dispute. We drafted a plan bulletproof. Then I waited for Father's Day. And so there I sat, the mug in one hand, divorce papers in the other. They laughed. They thought they had won. Anna leaned back in her chair, smug, and said, "We'll keep the house, obviously, and the cabin. Emily's staying with me." I smiled for the first time in months. "Actually," I said, sliding a thick envelope across the table, "you won't." Anna frowned. Emily looked confused. Inside the envelope was a detailed asset report showing Anna's siphoning of our funds, proof of infidelity, a confession email that had been sent to a dummy account I'd created, a court motion for full custody, and a freeze order on her hidden accounts. Anna's face drained of color. "What is this?" she asked, barely able to whisper. "Check the date," I said calmly. "Those were filed last week. You're already served." I leaned forward, my voice steady. "This house is in the holding company's name. The cabin too. And the business sold. Profits moved. You own nothing." Emily's lips parted. You spied on us." "No," I replied. "I protected myself from you." Anna stood, trembling, shaking with rage. "You can't do this." "I already did," I said. The following weeks moved fast. Anna tried to fight. She screamed about betrayal, about me being a coward. But in court she was a joke. The judge barely needed the private investigator's footage. The financial records told the entire story. She lost everything. Emily chose to stay with her. That hurt. It was a pain I didn't expect, but I knew it would fade. Pain is temporary. Clarity isn't. Now the house is quiet, peaceful. I still have the mug. It sits on the shelf, not as a wound but as a trophy. They thought I was the loser. But I was the one playing the long game. And on Father's Day while they were laughing I was already winning.